Hi, Ashley here with hearthookhome.com, and today we are learning how to crochet this half double crochet slip stitch ribbing. This is very easy to do. It's very knit look, and it makes for an excellent border. This is very fun, very quick. I am using it on a new sweater pattern that is right here that's coming out very soon. I've started another one so that I can take photos of it, and I thought, oh my goodness, this is so gorgeous. We need to do a video tutorial. So let's grab your yarn and learn how to do the half double crochet slip stitch ribbing. In order to do the half double crochet slip stitch ribbing, you can start with any number of chains. Here I have 8 chains to start. We're going to do a half double crochet slip stitch row first, and that's made exactly how it sounds. So I'm going to find the second chain from my hook here and look in the back bar. I'm going to wrap my hook like I would with a half double crochet. I'm going to insert into that second chain, the back bar of that second chain, and pull up a loop. And now it looks like a half double crochet, but we're going to make it into a slip stitch instead. So hold this with your thumbnail, these two down here, and take that loop we just pulled up and pull it straight on through those other 2 loops. That's the half double crochet slip stitch. So yarn over, go into the next chain and pull up that loop, hold it with your thumbnail, and pull it straight on through those 2 loops left. We're going to do this all the way to the end of the row until we run out of chains. And it's very important that you do not pull these loops too tight. Once you get going in a rhythm, you'll find a consistency and a tension that works really well for you. And as long as you can keep those loops as consistently sized as possible, or as close to each other as possible, it'll turn out beautifully. So here we have our 7 half double crochet slip stitches. Now we are going to do a row of slip stitches to get back to this side over here. Now when I do this, I like to turn it this way so that my yarn tail is in front of my work. It does make it a little bit difficult to get into this slip stitch right here, to do the slip stitch right here, but it looks so much better when you turn it this direction. So I'm going to kind of move it up out of the way here, and I'm going to insert my hook into the 3rd loop only from the previous row's half double crochet, right? So as you know, with half double crochet, there are 3 loops. When you're looking at it the correct direction, there's the front loop, and there's the back loop, and then there's this 3rd loop back here. That's always created when you do a half double crochet. That's the loop that we're going to use to do our slip stitches back through. So I've gone into that 3rd loop only of that first stitch there, and I'm going to slip stitch. Go into the next 3rd loop only, so just this little diagonal one, and slip stitch. Do this all the way to the end of the row. And remember to keep a little bit on the looser side. When we get to this last stitch here, I find that it looks best if you go through both sides of this V. So here we've got, this is the 3rd loop right here. I find that it looks best, cleanest edge along the bottom of your piece, if you go through the 3rd loop there and then that loop right next to it, right? So we're going to grab both of those loops for the final slip stitch, and it just makes that edge look cleaner when we're finished. So that is it. We're going to alternate those 2 rows the entire time. So now we're going to start a half double crochet slip stitch row going into this first slip stitch right here. When we get to the end here, this final one looks a little bit cockeyed because the way we turned. We're going to grab both sides of that last one there and do our slip stitch. Beautiful. So now that we've got, this is row 1, row 2, and row 3. So now we're ready to do another slip stitch row. We're going to turn this way, keep this up and out of the way. We're going to snag this first 3rd loop right here. And now we're just going to continue slip stitching. Remember not to be too tight. When we get to the end here, we are going to snag 2 loops. We're going to snag this one right here and this one right here. Those 2 are going to be our final slip stitch. And now we are ready for another half double crochet row. And that is it. Let's take a look at this completed one. I'm going to be making a sweater with this one. So I've gone through and I've made all of the row ends that I need in order to start my sweater. And now when I'm ready to start, I'm going to take the first row to the last row. to create my bottom band for my sweater. And then I'm going to work directly into these row ends to start my sweater to make it as seamless as possible. So I hope you love this technique, this ribbing. It's absolutely gorgeous. Looks like little ramen noodles almost in the middle. Beautiful, and I will have this new sweater ready for you soon. Thanks for watching.